It was New Year's, 99, and I was out in Southern California visiting friends. And one of my dearest friends, and he's more like a brother than a friend, is Casey Porter, who is a Grammy Award-winning songwriter and producer. And my mother taught his mother-in-law the Baha'i faith when they were in a Lamaze class, when they were pregnant with me and Alice was pregnant with Jen. And so our families have been together ever since. And we're sitting in the hot tub with his wife and, their daughter and some of our best friends, looking out over the stars of Calabasas. And I had just met Lisa, Nina Simone's daughter, in Chicago. And it was amazing because while I was taking my African American study courses, I could only go to school on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I was working full-time to put myself through school. And the only class that fit my schedule was a class called Black Women in Music. And I had zero interest to take this class. But it was the only class that fit so that I could have a full load and work. So I ended up taking the class and I discovered Nina Simone. And it ended up being my most favorite class that I had almost throughout my whole school life period. And she had become such a champion for me. She was such an example. And so I'm talking to Casey about meeting Lisa and how Lisa had asked me to do some work for her to be her publicist. I had this idea that I wanted to do a song similar in scope to We Are the World, but that really addressed racism in America and promoted oneness. And he's like, God, Faith, that's a great idea, but let's not do just one song. Let's do an entire record. And let's team together diverse artists. Let's take a country artist and team it with a hip hop artist. Like, let's do a whole record that gives people a conversation point around the water cooler at work or, at school with other parents or things like that. And I said, let's do it. And he goes, okay, let's do it. And 6 months later, I moved out to Los Angeles, and myself, Casey Porter, and Dennis Stafford founded Oneness, which was a nonprofit 501c3. Our mission is to eliminate racism and promote the oneness of humanity through music, the arts, and education. And we ran that business for 7 years. Some of our supporters were everyone from Brian McKnight to Carlos Santana, Ricky Martin, Michael Jackson, Melissa Etheridge, Sarah McLachlan, Shaka Khan, B.B. King, Kanye West, Common. Like, we had really incredible supporters, but we didn't have the funding. And we expected the funding to come from the sale of the record that we produced. And all these artists said, yes, we want to contribute to this record. But when the labels got involved, they wouldn't sign off for this Arista artist to do a song for charity for this Sony art with a Sony artist kind of thing. And so things kind of started to not come together the way that we had anticipated that it would. And we said, well, one of the things that happened during that time that we were really surprised about was a lot of people, especially in LA, were like, do we really still have racism in America? Like, LA was a little progressive, the entertainment industry definitely a bit progressive, especially the music industry, and it felt like we had to convince people that racism was still a problem in America. We did finally produce a CD. It's called Oneness, Songs of Hope and Unity. It's a beautiful record that so many have never heard of. And what we did, one of our signature events every year was the Songwriters Summit for Oneness. And the Songwriters Summit for Oneness was a one-day retreat where we took hit makers, the people behind all those people that we just mentioned, the producers, the songwriters, the lyricists, and came together for one day where we did an incredible drumming circle. We had a keynote speaker give the inspiration for the day, and then we divided these 50 people up into 15 to 18 different songwriting teams. And at the end of the day, everybody came back with a song. And so the music that came out of those songwriters summits over 3 years, some of those songs are on the Oneness CD, Oneness Songs of Hope and Unity.